What are the most successful ads for newbies? Number 2 of 3. Hey, this particular video is the second in a series of 3 videos, so if you haven't watched the first one, you want to go back and watch the first one. Now, are you new to running online ads? Are you a little scared of them? Or maybe you've run some online ads already and you had some bad luck, maybe lost some money. You're going to want to watch this video, because in this series what I'm doing is I'm walking you through all the steps that a newbie needs to take. If you haven't been making money, or if you're new to this, you'll want to watch all of these videos. I'm gonna go through all the steps that you need to follow, and we're starting right now. Hey, I'm JR Fisher. If you're new to my channel, do me a favor and subscribe. There's a big button down there that says subscribe. Just hit that button, and the next thing you want to do is turn on notifications. There's a bell right next to it. You got to smash that bell. It'll make that noise right there, and then you got to turn on all notifications. Set it to all notifications. If you do that, you'll be part of the Fisher family, part of a VIP group that actually gets notified when I go live and when I post a new video. Now, I've been selling online since 2009, and I've sold millions of dollars of both physical and digital products, and I've learned a lot along the way, so I built this channel to help you guys start, run, and grow your online business. I have my branded products on thousands of websites, including Walmart. So what I do is I take this information that I've learned and I pass it on to you so you can get good results too. So let's jump into this ads thing. This is, like I said, the second video in a series of 3. I want to continue on with the things you need to do to have successful ads. Also, before I get going, I want to remind you that I do have a free course. It's a $97 course actually, but you can get it absolutely free. I will put a link down in the description. You can just click on that, grab the course, go through it, no credit card required. Number 1 thing you want to do is borrow credibility. Now, what do I mean by borrowing credibility? Well, if you're new to a person and you're new to a community and they don't know you, they haven't bought from you, they don't know anything about you, you've got to build some credibility. You got to make yourself look credible in their eyes, that they trust you enough to give you their information or even their money. The first thing you can do to increase your credibility is showcase your customer badges. Now, what do I mean by that? If there's people already in the market that are respected in your niche and you've worked with them, you've done work with them, I would put those on your page so that people can see that and they know that you worked with some people that they may already respect, and you can kind of get that halo effect, they call it, where you're falling under that same blanket of trust and respectability because you've worked with people that they already respect. Now, on your screen you should be seeing a get response ad, and if you notice, they've done that exact same thing. They've put people up here that are respected within the community, everything from Forbes to CNN to the Huffington Post, and said, hey, these people have used our product, so it must be a good product. They also have Neil Patel up there from Kissmetrics, who is a well-respected person within the digital marketing arena. So what they're trying to say is, hey, these people use our product, so it's a great product. The next thing you can do is actually showcase detailed testimonials. And when I say detailed, it's actually a write-up by somebody that could be trusted. It could actually be a video. Videos are great for people actually calling out your company and saying they've worked with you and they got good results. People have said that they're 7 times more likely to purchase from a company that has valid testimonials. Now, make sure they're valid. Don't get some picture off the internet and some fake quote there. Make sure it's actually a real person, because nowadays you can actually go out there and research that person and see if they really exist. Here's another example that Amazon uses. They show the Amazon Echo there, and then they show the customer reviews on that particular product, and if you notice, it's 4.5 stars. It's a #1 bestseller, and there's 21,196 reviews on that particular product. So that's kind of a cool thing. Now, don't overthink this. Faking a testimonial on your landing page, that's the wrong thing to do. Trust me on this, your visitors will know, and they'll leave in a second. Even worse, such deception can destroy your credibility. In short, be honest. Showcasing detailed testimonials, it's a great way to boost your credibility. Here's another example right here. WikiJobs added a detailed testimonials to their site, and they boosted their conversions by 34% by putting those testimonials on their site. Now, that's pretty amazing just by having those things on there. Whatever you do, always get real photos instead of stock photos. Stock photos are not good, especially if people see it on 2 or 3 other sites. They're going to know that your credibility really means nothing. And the other good thing about having these images is it's been said that images will increase engagement by 94%. So having those images there in addition to, you know, whatever the person had to say about you is really going to help you a lot. Now I know some of you actually will have stock images you use, whether it's somebody driving a truck or working in an office or something, and you're not saying it's that person, but they found that by adding these actual images, website optimizer found that using a real customer image brought in a 161% click-through rate lift, along with 38.4% increase in conversions by using actual customers and actual people in their ads. Now here's a really bad example, but I want you to see this. You see Patricia Brentel right here and Jean Adelis Edme. This is the original ad they used, and then they actually got pictures of the real people and put the people in there, and they saw a 95% conversion improvement by doing that. The next thing you can do is give your landing page a single purpose. Oftentimes we way overwork, we way overthink these landing pages, and we give people way too many choices. There has to be one primary motivation when they get to that landing page. Now if you think you want to drive traffic and get email signups and sell products all on the same page, you're woefully wrong. You can't do that. You can't do all three of those things in a single page. You can only do one of those things. If you want to do all those things, that's fine, but what you should have is multiple landing pages with different types of goals on those particular pages. If you have one that's supposed to be just driving traffic, then that's fine. If you have another one that's trying to get emails, that's another thing. If you have another page that's trying to get conversions and sales, that's a whole other thing, but don't combine those three. Now take a look at this landing page here. This is Ramit Sethi's six-figure consulting landing page. For example, it has only one purpose, and that's to promote his course on how to become a consultant earning 6 figures per year. But before someone can get Ramit's insider secrets, they have to subscribe to Ramit's email list, which is the real purpose of the page. So it says here, get my most advanced strategies for becoming a 6-figure consultant, and then it has the single opt-in right there. Now Ryan Deiss, founder of Digital Marketer, knows how to define the purpose of this landing page. If you want to become a certified customer value optimization specialist, Ryan doesn't want you to just subscribe to his list. He wants you to enroll if you're already ready. Now these are all pretty good examples that you can use, but here's one that is not a good example. I want to share that to you too. Now check out this page right here. There's a lot of stuff going on here. See, I don't understand what they're actually even trying to do on this page. It's all over the place. It's a mess. There's tons of different buttons and CTAs. There's multiple columns. So you're really not sure what to read first. And as a result, your eyes and mind wander all over the place, and you really get too distracted to really move on and do anything at all. Cluttered pages like this actually force people to multitask, and you really can't multitask. Your brain can only focus on one thing at a time. They have to try to take in all these different things that are going on, and they literally makes your customers scatterbrained to where they're in all these different directions, whereas keeping things nice and simple, reducing both the complexity and choices on there will get you more conversions and get you more of what you want. Now we're going to take that same page and make it a whole lot simpler and just one thing for you to do. Now here's the changed version of that page right here. It says conduct research and promote your products with social media, reach 125,000 physicians across 68 specialties with Sermo. Okay, now I can look at this and I say, okay, I'm just going to opt in here, give my information, and I see that I've got surveys and panels and client center and promotion, and it makes it a whole lot easier for me to understand than that other page that was on there. Now here's the results of switching that page. There's no surprise that this new variation actually increased conversions by 154%. You can see the control right there, and then the treatment for the lead rate, the relative difference, and statistical level of confidence, and it was huge. It was a really big difference by them doing this. And if you notice, it's actually less work to do a page with less stuff on it, but it gets better results. Now it's also been proven that these carousel sliders are bad for landing pages. Having people switch their mind constantly with new images up there makes them go in different directions. The usability, sliders commonly cause problems, and they have trouble landing on outdated browsers and mobile devices and that type of thing. So we're leaning against a lot of those, and if you have those on the page, you may want to do the same thing. And the other thing you're trying to do with these sliders is you're trying to, get conversions by targeting everybody with all these different products, but what ends up happening is it's not appealing to anyone. The other problems with having these sliders is it actually reduces the speed and the load time of your page, and you're going to lose people there because they're not going to wait for your page to load. When you look at actual results of sliders, less than 1% of the people ever click on a slider. Now in this visual right here, you're going to see that we have homepage views, carousel clicks, and click percentage, and generally you're going to be using these things for branding, thought leadership, service promotion, whatever, and you can see the huge differences here. The point is, keep it simple. Don't clutter up your landing pages with a ton of extra stuff that distracts people from their primary goal. And whatever you do, don't use a carousel slider. Number 3, optimize your pages for conversions. Your landing page is basically your sales force. When people get there, it needs to do the sales work of a human being. So if you don't have it optimized, if you don't have it set right, if you don't have it clean and neat, it's not going to perform its task. Now this sounds simple, but you kind of need to figure out what is working on your page and what's not working. By doing so, you can do more of what does work and quit doing all those things that don't work. Now let's talk about how we can actually do that. Number 1, you want to be really clear about the action you want visitors to take. What makes a landing page distinct from ordinary web page is that it has one purpose and one purpose only. Wanting your customers to do several things is a recipe for failure. Many business owners think along the following lines: well, ultimately we want them to buy our products and become a customer, but failing that, they could subscribe to our email letter, or maybe they could like us on Facebook. For your landing page to be a success, you must be strict on yourself and have a single outcome as your aim. The single outcome is the goal of your landing page and is how you measure your conversions. And of course, the next thing you need to do is you need to measure your statistics. If you don't know where you're at, it's hard to know where you're going. Having identified the goal of your landing page, you can measure the conversion rate. As mentioned before, this is a percentage of visitors who take the action you desire. Once you've calculated your average daily conversion rate, you're ready to start tweaking. So the one thing I would tell you is start off by removing every single distraction that's on that page. I know, and I thought the same thing too. The more I have there, the more opportunities I have, but that's just not the case. All those things are distracting. So get rid of all the distractions, focus in on what your primary goal would be when they hit that landing page, and just do that thing. Now here's a good example from Copy Hackers. They use a cartoon-like character that points at the opt-in call to action button. They just want you to do the one thing there, and as you can see, this little character is pointing at it, and that makes it really simple. And if you look at the words on the button, I think it's kind of interesting too. It says, yes, get the free guide, and the no button says, no, I reject the persuasion guide. So they're actually having to reject you if they click that no button. Marie Forello uses a white arrow to direct users to her email subscription box. It helps the visitor avoid getting lost on a page, and here's the example of it right here. She's got a few things going on, but if you notice, that white arrow is pointing right down to what you need to do. Now here's another one from Expert Photography. It says, do you want to understand your frustrating camera and take good photos today? I mean, that's it, right? Anytime we get one of these new cameras, it's frustrating. We don't understand it. We don't know what buttons to hit. And what they're saying is, we've got this video that'll help you out. And they've got a red arrow pointing right to it. It says, where should I send your video? Okay. So all they have to do is put in their email address and click watch the video now, limited time. So that gets right to the point. I think that's a really good ad right there. Now here's a really interesting statistic when you're thinking about what you want to put on your button, what words to put on your button. When you're thinking about what words to put on your button, HubSpot recently tested landing page CTA buttons, okay, call to action buttons, and they used the word submit, and then they didn't use the word submit. Now I want you to check this out here. The conversion rate by occurrence of submit. If they use the word submit, if you notice right here, it didn't do very well. Using the word submit on your button on your page is a poor way of trying to get people to follow through. Without submit, you can see how much better it did here. It did like 17% versus what, 15%? Not even 15, 14.2%. So that's a huge difference. So if that doesn't work, the question is, what do you put on your buttons to get people to click? So it turns out being more specific worked a whole lot better. So if you had the choice between submit and click here far outweighed the number of clicks than submit did. So we probably just want to get rid of the word submit on all of our buttons. Now here's another chart that shows you different things you can put on your button and how well they perform. You see register is at the bottom there, because register I think means they're gonna have to do some work and they don't want to do that. Download, once again, they're probably gonna have to do some work. You notice where that chart is. Submit was next, go was next, but the best one on there was quite simply click here. Now here's an example for unbounce, and what they did is they put a button there that spells out exactly what's going to happen, and it says build a high converting landing page now. So that is a direct result of what happens when you click on that button. Also, you want to keep in mind, you don't want to overcomplicate things. Like people will rename a blog a thought leadership column, and people don't even know what that is. They're not used to that. So don't try to overcomplicate. Don't try to make it sound fancy or sound more important. The simple words work best. And step 4 is really going to be to drive qualified traffic to your landing page from Facebook. Facebook ads work great. It's a great source of traffic for your landing page, and smart marketers have leveraged this and used this since the beginning of Facebook. Now in this chart here, I want to show you the difference in the click-through rate, the CTR, with organic and paid and just organic only. Now that's a huge increase. 5% is actually huge. Now there's other ads out there you can use too, other placement ads such as Google text ads out there. They don't work quite as well as Facebook does because of the targeting aspect. The other drawback to using some of the Google ads, and I do like Google ads and I'm doing YouTube ads now, but they take a long time to approve. Normally in Facebook you're going to get your ad approved in about 15 minutes. Now the downside to Facebook is they can disapprove your ad or close down your account or shut you out because we don't even know why. There's no way to contact them. If you're using something like Google, you can actually go into chat, you can talk to somebody, you can call them up on the phone. Facebook does not have that unless you have a huge ad spend. In the beginning, a newbie just doesn't have that. So it may be better to go another route where you can get a little bit more help than Facebook. Okay, so that gives you a good pathway. We're working our way through this. This is the end of video 2 in this 3 video series. I want to know what you think of the information you've gotten so far. Put a comment below. Let me know what you're learning in this series. Let me know what questions you have in this series too, and maybe I can do another series that will help you out. You know, have you already done some ads? Are you trying to do ads? Do you find things in here that are going to work for you? Please let me know in the comments below. Now don't forget, I have a free e-commerce course you can get below too. It's an e-commerce course. You don't need a credit card or anything like that. You just put in your information and boom, you can access it, and it's something that will really help you out. It has a $97 value. You don't need a credit card to get this information. You can start learning today. Also, don't forget, if you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe below. Hit that subscribe button. That's super important. When you do that, you'll become part of the family, but you need to complete the next step, which is ring the bell, right? Hit the bell notifications right next to it. Turn on all notifications. That's super important for you to do that. When you do that, I can let you know when I upload a new video. I can let you know when I go live. You'll be VIP. You jump in front of the line. That's the way to go. I hope you enjoyed this video. So give me a thumbs up below, and I'll see you in the next video, in video 3. Hey, thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click that little bell right there so you can be notified every time I do a new video. Also, click on one of those videos there. Keep watching on my channel.